Dear former admissions officer. Hi, I'm Steve Hahn, and I'm a former admissions officer from the University of Chicago, and I now work as a senior strategist here at Crimson. Dear FAO, I'm stuck on who to ask for letters of recommendation. Everyone loves our history teacher, including me, so I'm afraid if I ask her, I'll be one of a million letters she's writing. And I thought about asking my tennis coach since he knows me really well, but I don't know if that's allowed. Who should I ask and why? Thanks for your help, Vishal. Well, Vishal, that's a really great question because this is a common issue that most of our students that join Crimson ask when they first join Crimson. This is a really great thing to start with. When you're thinking about who you want to write your letters of recommendation, you're going to want to first know why we ask for letters of recommendation. We ask for letters of recommendation at our universities because we need to know who you are as a student in the classroom. We need to know, are you the kind of person that engages a lot in class discussions? Do you help other students? Do you go to office hours? When we're thinking about how to best evaluate the letters of recommendation, again, we're usually asking for one STEM teacher and one non-STEM teacher so that we know what it looks like when you're in a discussion-based course usually and in a lecture-based course. These are important aspects because especially when you first start off in college, you'll be in the general ed or the intro classes for most of your first 2 years. So those are the type of classes that are most like the high school courses that you're probably taking right now. When you're wondering about whether or not you should ask a teacher who you feel like is getting bombarded with letters because she's really popular, good for her, or you're wondering about if you should do it with someone that maybe isn't as popular, the quality of the letter is going to be the most important thing when you're thinking about a letter of recommendation. So it's going to be more important than the subject the teacher is teaching or the number of letters that you feel like the teacher is writing. Obviously, I will say, ask the teacher if the teacher has capacity to write the letter because the teacher will most likely be honest with you if they don't have capacity because too many people have asked. But if they have capacity to do it and you feel like they're the best representative of who you are as a student in the classroom, I say go with it. So if you feel like your history teacher is the best person for that, then I think that's totally okay to ask them. Just make sure that they have the capacity for it and that their letters of recommendation feel like, again, the best description of who you are as a student. So as far as your tennis coach letter of recommendation comes into play, the tennis coach is a great person to have. I would not recommend that you use them for one of the two primary letters of recommendation though for your common application. I would recommend that you use them for the third optional one that most schools allow. Some schools allow even up to 5 letters of recommendation, so you can have 3 optional ones, but definitely you can most always include a third optional letter of recommendation. And that's where I would include coaches from your tennis team, any like tutors or mentors that you've had, someone that you feel like best knows you but maybe outside of the classroom but can still speak to who you are as a person or your character. That's a great person to ask. So your tennis coach is a great choice. I would just use them as a third optional one rather than replacing your history teacher with that. I hope that answers your question, and I wish you the best of luck in asking your teachers and your coaches for your letters of recommendation. And if you have questions like Vishal's, please leave them down below.